wanted to talk about that. So, obviously, the Cronkies were involved in the Partey deal, and for ages they've been seen as stingy, as tight, as not wanting to put the footballing success of Arsenal at the forefront of the club's operations. But here we are, post-deadline day, and you've got reports in The Athletic saying that they provided the additional funds needed for Partey. So now, do you guys think that, first of all, in fact, do you think that this has impacted your view of the Cronkies, or are we just being happy over something that should have come from a very, very long time ago? Aditi, I'll come to you in a second, but let me go to Kesh first. Go on.
Listen, I'm not going to buy into all that. Cronkies helped out or provided the funds. At the end of the day, they've been so long this thing's going on where they've not supported the manager to the fullest. Just because they've gone and signed one quality player don't mean anything's changed. And I still stand by that. Like, they need to do more or they need to leave, simple as.
I think that's not fair, because I don't think Stan Kroenke's the head of the ship that we always talk about. It's Josh Kroenke, and what they've been doing with all their franchises in America and what they've been doing with Arsenal is they have reconsolidated all the people in the back rooms, and they've almost changed all their backroom staff, and they've started a new regime in every single place pretty much. And what they're doing at Arsenal right now with Edu, Arteta, I can see a plan, and I can see that they won't need to invest as much if they back Arteta every window and bring in his first targets. Because when was the last time Arsenal brought in their first target? We usually go for our second and third. And this is the first time I can say we went and got Thomas Partey, which I think was our first target.
So you don't think that it's, well, you think that it's harsh to say that we were clamoring for the easiest thing that the Cronkies have given us? You don't think they deserve criticism?
They don't deserve all the credit yet, but at the end of the day, we have to see after a 2 to 3 year process if they continue this.
Okay, Sam, I can see you shaking your head. What are you saying?
Because the Cronkies have been here since 2007, and if you've seen the way Arsenal has gone since then, it's been a downward curve. Every year, yes, we got top 4, but listen, Arsenal Wenger worked miracles with that squad, and the Premier League wasn't where it was back then. The Cronkies have constantly underwhelmed Arsenal from year in, year out. We can go back to countless times where we've missed out on world-class players due to the Stan Kroenke stubbornness. I know some Arsenal fans may disagree with this statement, but it goes to show that Arsene Wenger was not penny pinching during his years at Arsenal. I believe it goes to show how he was not backed during his final years and the latter stages. Yes, I think he should have gone earlier, but it goes to show that Arsene Wenger wasn't up for all the transfers that we didn't get at Arsenal.
Fair. But I hear that. Okay, DT, I'm sure you saw we've got a super chat here. Someone has paid money to say that you're on the coke. So I think that's ridiculous. Like, here we go. People keep spending their money.
Can I just say if that is you in the display picture, I suggest you go and take some coke as well. So you might have
Fair. But you on Partey, you said that it's a great piece of business. So are you giving credit to the Cronkies, or do you think we're clutching at straws here?
The thing is with Stan and Josh Kroenke is that Arsenal was a very profitable and a very easy business to be involved in when they first came along. We go into the Emirates and everything else. And that is, for me, when we needed Stan Kroenke the most. When we were losing our best players and the Invincibles was breaking up. And we knew that things were going to be difficult moving into a new stadium. That's where Stan could have turned around and said, you know what? To steady the ship for the next 3-4 years, I'm going to dip into my own pocket so the manager gets what he wants and we don't lose a whole host of talent. I want the money back, but it's going to be like a loan. You know, nothing wrong with that. No fan would have said anything wrong with that. But it never happened. We went through that really bad period and no trophy and whatnot. And then I think a big turning point in recent times for me was when the fans started getting a voice, when the fans started actually, speaking up and being able to show exactly what they felt. And I'm not just on about Arsenal Fan TV and myself, and I'm on about the fans that started staying away from the Emirates. It was embarrassing going to games and there was red seats everywhere. People would make jokes saying, oh, how nice of everyone to wear a red top today in an area where it was just clearly seats. And for a club the size of Arsenal, that was embarrassing. We did not move into the Emirates to have empty stadiums, Europa League football. And I think that had a bigger impact on Stan Kroenke, Josh Kroenke, and everybody connected than we all realise. And, you know, I've been in amongst a lot of the protests. I've been one of the reasons why there has been a lot of protests. But, you know, we've had banners and we've had planes and all kinds of stuff to get a message across. And I feel that the empty stadiums was the biggest message. I feel that was the biggest turning point. And then last season, I don't think we can really moan about the owners backing the manager, because they did. They went out and bought Pepe. And then we bought a whole host of other players. Yes, we can sit there and say that we needed a centre-back, but we run out of time. But in hindsight, I'm glad we never gave everything to Unai Emery, because God knows what he would have done with it. And then also, we're trying to repair the damage from past regimes of Ivan Gazidis. Arsene Wenger's culpable for some of the stuff that, you know, went on in terms of higher wages for players, because he was very involved in that side of things. You look at this window, for example, how many players could we not get rid of this window because no one else would pay the wages they're currently on? Yeah. At the end of this season, we're losing Mesut Ozil, Kolasinac, Socrates, Mustafi, David Luiz, and you're talking about 700 grand a week gone.
Gotta be happy.
That's colossal amount of money. 700 grand a week. Do you realize what we can do with that money in terms of the caliber of player that we can bring in and the wage we can put them on? And, you know, we look at it now with a clear head, the transfer window shut. We look at all the players we've signed. And for me, the most important parts as well, and a lot of people are forgetting this, is we've signed Saka to a new deal, Martinelli to a new deal, and Aubameyang to a new deal. Now, any player from the outside looking in will go, all right, let's have a look. Let's see, you know, what's going on. Okay, Aubameyang's committed. That's a good sign. They've got young talent like Saka and Martinelli that have committed. They've just brought in Thomas Partey. They've won a trophy. Everything looks to be going the right way. What's key for Arsenal, and I can't stress this enough, is we have to get back into the Champions League. If we do that this summer and get back into the Champions League, then with all those players going off the wage bill in the summer, the level of player that we can bring in will only strengthen us further.
You know what I think? I think when it comes to talking about rivals reacting to us, and still, you guys are not putting any pressure on us. None of you rivals are still picking us to win top 4. So when you guys say, oh, Arsenal's going to fail in this, none of you guys are putting pressure on us. And at the end of the day, you guys are all scared because you won't be laughing at us anymore. We've actually fixed our defense. We've actually built the team the proper way with the proper building blocks. And every single rival sees what Arteta's doing, and they're a little bit worried. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I'm not one thing. You know, looking back at Gazidis' reign, right now, if a player was 3 years left on his contract, he never negotiated with them. Ivan Gazidis, as the word I'm quoting DT here, that bold fraud, Ivan Gazidis, right? He would always wait until the last minute, and it cost us dearly. I remember the Matthew Flamini when he left on a free to AC Milan. That cost us dearly when he was in his prime. And then the Sanchez deal. I mean, looking back on it, you know, it was good. Look, listen, he left it last minute for Sanchez. Maybe a year earlier, 2 years earlier, if we could negotiate a new deal, then yeah, maybe I'll give him credit. But Ivan Gazidis was holding Arsenal back for so long, and I'm glad he's gone. Honestly,
fair.
I agree.
Don't even insult Ivan Gazidis. Big up Edu and Arteta, because we actually have leaders at the club for once, and they know what it means to be players at the club. Even though they weren't legends of the legends, they're not Henry and Bergkamp, obviously, but they still have played at the club. And to have that connection, I feel like it's almost like an Ajax type model where you have former players coming back to help build the glory days.
No, I just want to go and add on something about Edu. Is that, you know, on Twitter and Instagram, he's always viewing these Arsenal fan pages' stories, which shows that he really is within the fans and understands our needs and how frustrated we've been on the past couple of years and how we're done with being a mediocre team and now we just want to get back to the top.